Hello, my name is Jade, and I wanted to introduce myself because this is easier than writing down what I need to write down. If it's on here in this way, no one can really find it, so this is how I'm gonna journal. Um, I wanted to talk about this thing I was diagnosed with about 3 years ago, and it's still weighing really heavily on my mind because I don't know how to handle it or how to cope or how to do anything with it. It's starting to affect my work ethics, it's starting to affect my relationships, it's starting to affect every aspect of my life, and I don't like it. I was diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder. I don't want it, but I don't know how to get rid of it. So if anyone out there could maybe give me information, maybe, I don't know, anything that would help, I would really appreciate it if you could leave it in the comments or something. Anyway, I wanted to I wanted to talk about the diagnosis because it's, like I said, touching every aspect of my life, and I know the stigmas around it, and I don't really know. But I wanted you to keep in mind that one, DID is often hidden, particularly in one's early years. DID is often misdiagnosed as something else, which I did have to deal with. It was a very long journey of being a guinea pig, as I called it. It was just a lot of tests and a lot of bad experiences to pile on with what's going on in my head. People with DID experience full and partial dissociation. They are able to be in two or more states of mind at once, meaning something takes over. And it's really fucking scaring me right now. The majority of people with DID have experienced complex and prolonged trauma, usually at the hands of someone who they were supposed to be their caregivers, caretakers. I can agree with that. DID is not a fantasy, and it is not schizophrenia. People with DID are not violent to others, but may sometimes cause harm to themselves or act out on their bodies, i.e., eating disorders, self-harm, maladaptive coping behaviors, as a way to deal with the intensity of memories, feelings, and internal reactions. There was this one thing that my therapist did give me. They titled it 7 Lovely Logics of Life. And I think I want to share that with you too. One, make peace with your past so it doesn't spoil your present. Two, what others think about you is none of your business. Three, time heals almost everything. You just gotta give the time some time. Four, no one is the reason of your happiness except yourself. Five, don't compare your life with others. You have no idea what their journey is all about. Six, stop thinking too much. It's alright not to know all the answers. Seven, smile. You don't own all the problems in the world. It really helps me to, I don't know. It's just something that's helped me to ground myself a little bit every now and then whenever I feel like I'm about to lose myself. Yeah. Um, I also wanted to talk about the good and bad of disclosing the truth to others. So, DID disclosure do. Consider your motive. What do you hope to achieve by revealing your diagnosis? You're more likely to get what you want if you have a clear understanding of what that is. Additionally, your listener needs to know why you're saying, I have GID. Otherwise, they might not know how to respond. You also have to think about your audience. Who are you going to tell? A friend? A love interest? Allow the listener's identity and their role in your life shape the way you deliver the message. So, the way I told my partner about my diagnosis should be significantly different from how I tell casual friends. Like, you have to have a different tone to it. The depth, tone, and emotional revelation in your disclosure should be appropriate with your relationship. And then you also want to plan ahead, of course. When and where you when and where are you going to come out? What will you say? It might help to write your own list of do's and don'ts for this part alone, because it's best if you and your listener are relaxed. Think about will what will have caused safety and comfort and what will hinder it. And then I wanted to talk about don'ts before I go. Do not apologize. Your disclosure is not a confession. By sharing your DID diagnosis in an apologetic or embarrassed way, you tell your listener that DID is something to be ashamed of. So be honest, but keep in mind that how you present it to others will impact their perception of it in the long term. Don't ignore the risks. Once I disclosed my diagnosis to someone I definitely made mistakes. One time I disclosed to someone who was just like, really don't give a fuck about your problems. and I was crushed. I felt humiliated, but in retrospect, it was a careless choice on my part because I hadn't prepared myself for such a caustic response. Because it didn't occur to me I might receive one. So you might want to ask yourself, how might your listener respond? Then be realistic about the potential consequences of those reactions. Don't, never, ever, do not disclose under pressure. Some situations are beyond your control, yes, but if possible, come out because you've weighed all the considerations and decided it's what you want to do, not because you feel pressured to do it instead, you know? So, that is my advice. Peace.